back to you.
Oh,
So I didn't know.
And
then I'll bet more about what. I like the back.
Where would you go?
And then I'll bet.
Oh, yeah.
He's hanging with us.
What's his name? Castle Beach.
Yeah.
You were in the same.
So this would be cool.
Flowers. We went back, you know where you were. Yeah, still. I'm gonna go work. I know, Ivy, I know.
I am kidding. I mean, I walk.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I was. Yeah. Only me. Then I will. Oh, yeah.
Unless somebody.
Well, she's. She's a sweet girl, so we kind of. There.
Test.
Here comes Joe. I had like 2 hour naps. Slept 10 hours. Yeah. It's like, well, I'll tell you.
Checked it. It's
Doctors on cars.
This is not the.
What are you looking at? Oh,
So.
no, we're not doing concrete pads. I don't think so.
We're doing anchors or what?
Yeah, anchors and stuff. Yeah.
That's not on
This-
here.
Well, the anchors aren't that much. $200.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. But they're, the pads we figured would be a trip hazard and I don't know. They were talking about that. I don't know if that's a good, I don't want. How to anchor them?
What would be?
Okay.
Sense. I think that's what we have to bid this. Bid amount. 1,000.
Yeah, 10, okay, no. I think it has to be more than 10 to bid it. But they have to get, he did look at the pricing, he just, I think, didn't bid it. Well, they didn't, I know they didn't do it through, the state didn't handle that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Everybody going? Doing well, how are you?
I did get one.
Now.
The other child. Worked 12 hours last night, worked all day today.
I will tell you.
That's all I want. You should have.
I've got 25 are written quotes from 3 vendors. Hopefully he's got that.
Yeah, just don't bring it up. I think it's got, online pricing. I mean, there are no vendors. There are no vendors.
Do this.
There are no real vendor, we're not getting it to a vendor. We're just buying it through like a store, so it's like. Yeah, true. Yeah, you're right. I got a minute to go here, or 30 seconds or 5 seconds or something. Get back, at least. This on. This on.
Nice little town.
All right, I'd like to call the March meeting of the Hancock Town Council to order. Debbie, can you call the roll, please?
Sure. Councilmember Figgy,
Present.
Councilmember Grubb,
Here.
Councilmember Holdren,
Present.
Councilmember Knock,
Here.
Councilmember Pettit,
Here.
Councilmember Quigley,
Here.
and Mayor Foskey.
Present.
Okay, you have a quorum.
Thank you. We have a quorum. Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, a couple announcements before we start. We've got a couple meetings coming up. I just want to make sure that everybody's aware of the meetings. We've got one coming up on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday at 4 o'clock, a special meeting of the town council to interview, the company that we hired to search for new town manager is going to present their results to us on Wednesday at a closed session, so there won't be anything. And we're not going to hire anybody at that meeting. That's just the first initial thing when we see our applications that they're going to, tell us who applied. In April, we have 2 work sessions for the budget. April 15th at 6, April 23rd at, that one's at 2?
Yeah.
2, okay. So that's work sessions, just, they're sort of informal. Okay, all right. Well, that's their,
Very thing.
that is,
Else does that.
anyway. 2 work sessions, same work session, budget work session. We got 2. Yeah, we got 2, yeah. And the 15th of April at 6 and the 23rd at 2, that should be on our website. All right. I think that's it for the meetings. Okay. Somebody have an agenda item? Ed?
Yes, I have a request to amend the agenda. I have 3 items, up to 3 items for council's consideration for action. 2 directors on the EDA, their terms have expired and we need to I would request that we reappoint them with their agreement, of course. Kendra Stearns.
You don't have to give the name, just that we're just amending that. We're going to talk about it later.
Sorry.
Yeah, just say you want to put that on.
Okay, I'm going to reappoint.
No, just say you want to put it on the EDA. Yeah.
I would like to put it, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, and we have an applicant and I would request that we considering her.
Okay, we'll bring it up at council. It will be actually the only council action we'll have tonight. Okay. Well, actually, it's going to be about the next thing here after the meeting. All right. Any other agenda?
Second.
Oh, yeah. Second?
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right. Consideration of the meeting minutes for the regular meeting on February 23rd, 2026. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes?
So
No
moved.
idea how much I don't miss this.
Okay, discussion. If anybody
And
corrections, get up with Debbie. And Eddie, wow, great, thank you. Okay, all in favor of minutes,
Aye.
opposed? Okay, public hearing, none scheduled, public presentation, none scheduled. Okay, we're down to council action. Okay, that was pretty quick. We're back to EDA.
Well, are we gonna do the Northeast Park first or the EDA first? Council action has something under it already.
Oh, let's go do the EDA, get that over with. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Just by way of background, if you'll recall, when the EDA was stood up, directors were appointed in staggered terms of 2 and 4 years. So it has flown by, but we're at the 2-year point. And so directors Kendra Stearns and Director Bill Chandler would appreciate being reappointed. So that would be my ask for that. Do you want to act on that first or you want me to give it?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so I would make a motion to reappoint Kendra Stearns to the EDA for a 4-year term beginning today if it is approved.
Catherine, this is Matt.
You want to do both of them at the same time, or, yeah?
I'll second that.
Stuff.
Discussion? All in favor?
How you doing, man?
Opposed? Okay.
I make a motion to appoint Bill Chandler to a four-year
Oh,
EDA
please.
commencing today, if approved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah,
I make a
yeah, I didn't
motion
realize they were
to
gonna get to it.
appoint
Um,
applicant, Molly Margerson. You all should have gotten information about her, but if we need to have discussion, then we can go into closed session. But that would be my motion.
Second.
Yeah, second discussion. As far as I know, this opening has been up for 4 or 5 months, correct?
Long time.
And she's the first applicant we've had for it.
Yes,
Okay, so yeah, okay.
and I have spoken with her, and I believe her knowledge, skills, and experience are relevant and that she would add value to the authority.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I was.
Lisa. Okay, council action purchase of equipment at Northeast Park, Bill?
Yes, sir. We, met last week, week before last, and there are the following pieces of equipment that came up. 2 picnic tables that are regular, 1 ADA, accessible table, 2 trash receptacles, and two benches. I have, after we've discussed, they're gonna be, HDTE, the plastic, they'll be in green. And I think we agreed that it would be in green. And, I've gotten a quote from, the playground equipment people for $9,999. I don't know why they, $1, but that's where we are. And I would recommend that the council approve it. And I think you have a resolution that appropriates, authorizes me to purchase it and appropriate some money. From capital improvement.
The resolution, I believe, Fletcher had. I didn't have to. Give it to me by the last meeting.
Okay. The title is Resolution Approving the Purchase of Park Equipment, Northeast Park. Whereas citizens of the town of Anacog have requested the following equipment for Northeast Park: 2 picnic tables, 1 ADA accessible picnic table, 2 trash receptacles, 2 benches. And whereas the town council desires to provide the requested equipment and has received a price quote for the requested equipment in the amount of $9,999. Now therefore be it resolved that the town council of the town of Anacog does hereby appropriate $9,999 from Capital Improvements Fund, and it gives the account number for the purchase of the attached park equipment. Be it further resolved that the interim town manager be and hereby is authorized to purchase said park equipment.
Second.
Discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. All right.
Just a question, do you have any sense, Bill, of when the installation might be able to begin or happen?
No, don't know yet. Soon as that's approved, I'll call, email the gentleman that's a representative and find out how long it takes to get it here.
Thank you.
Yes. Oh, and by the way, Northeast, Park now has water. The water is on. One thing that held it up is there were a number of homes that were vacant. And somehow the system was hooked up and those lines were leaking to those houses. And we've capped those off. And so you now have water at the park.
Excellent.
There's a spigot that, yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. Committee reports, Planning Commission, Cindy?
Planning Commission met once this month, on Monday, March the 2nd. The new business that we discussed was the request from the town council regarding reviewing
possible zoning revisions for B1 and B2 regarding building heights and setbacks. And we discussed that for a while, and the upshot was that Jim McGowan will create a draft for us to review at our next meeting. And hopefully then soon after, we can forward that to the town council. We also, in our old business, discussed the comprehensive plan, talking about the work that had been done in the various areas, as well as the organization of the plan. And we had planned to meet again the middle of March, but that was canceled due to the bad weather day. So we did not meet. We won't meet again until early April. That's all.
Any questions from, about the, and this is reference to the members, do you have anybody that, are you checking on your terms too? Because we have sometimes terms expire and we don't know about it. Can you check about the planning commission as well? I think most of the people are fairly new on that, but sometimes we don't realize somebody's term expires and that we need to reappoint them. Yeah, if you could check at that with the chairman. All right. Okay, Economic Development Authority, and
So we met on Wednesday, the 18th.
Well,
And got a couple of things done. One thing we did was that EDA officer terms expire after a period of 2 years. So it was time to reconsider officers that had been in their positions for 2 years. And so I was elected to be chair. And we did validate that that was permissible with our council. So we confirmed that there was no conflict there. And we will be considering a replace vice chair at our next meeting. We also approved a remote participation policy so that we would have our own policy to make sure that we were covered, since I wasn't certain that we could rely on the town's policy. We are instigating conversations and consideration about retention of counsel. So I believe that we should have information to take action on at our next meeting. And we are also reaching back out to DHCD, who is the entity that gave us the funds for the Williston building, to ensure that we are fully informed about current parameters for the revolving loan fund with respect to any limitations that we might have for lending out those funds as they come in, because we are getting payments now. I don't have the exact figures in front of me, but I think we have $20-something right now, and certainly accrue that, we'll have more capacity to do things with the funds. If in the event that the parameters on the funds constrain us overly, so for example, they may limit us in a way that would require us to have more money than we have, we would then have the option to seek additional funds that we could use with more flexibility for different purposes, such as a microloan to small business or some other purpose. So I think I would say we're at the point with the EDA where we are really moving forward in earnest now that we have funds to work with, and with a new member. And I've talked to a couple of people about filling the remaining vacancy. Folks may be interested, so we may have to have a full slate in the authority by the town council's next meeting. And I think that's it. Anybody have any questions?
I have one little comment. When they got set up, I don't know if you guys can hear me. When they were originated, they needed to get CAM set up, which is the state grant administration website thing. The reason why the original grant filtered down through the town to be loaned out was because the town already had their CAM set up and the EDA wasn't ready. So if you're looking for future dollars, make sure you get your CAMs.
Yeah, we're meeting with,
Okay.
we're meeting with the grantor on any issues relating
You don't need me.
to ensuring that we are in compliance with anything with which we need to be in compliance. But I appreciate it.
any other questions about the EDA? Okay, Nancock Main Street, we're on to community reports.
Onancock Main Street officially submitted our VTC Marketing Leveraging Program grant application last week. The request was for $20,000 with an equal cash match from the town, which town council voted to approve last month. This funding would allow us to continue our digital marketing efforts to promote the town. which got us almost 2 million views on social media in this past year and directed over 100,000 visitors to our visitor website, experienceinhancock.com. We should hear back by August. We had a tourism workshop May 4th, or we will have a tourism workshop on May 4th at 3 o'clock at Bizotto's. This is for businesses in our area. We have speakers from the Virginia Tourism Corporation and ESVA Tourism that will be discussing trends in tourism, what's happening on the Eastern Shore, and explaining the overall goals of Virginia Main Street. We just had a workshop March 9th over at Bread and Butter, which was also for businesses, which was softscaping your exterior, interior foyer to make it a more welcoming site for your customers. That was really successful. Participants got to make flower arrangements, which was kind of cool, and be part of a drawing for 2 planters. We want to thank Joni Donahoe and Keith Andes for being our experts at the workshop. OMS was also reached out to by Corner Bakery, who will be doing their Easter eggs again coming up soon. And they asked Main Street to get involved to try to get other businesses to maybe potentially give prizes like T-shirts or something that support their business. So Main Street has been really involved trying to help them get that going. This will be Saturday, April 4th. So there'll be more than just donuts in those eggs, which is kind of cool. And Hancock Main Street is working with Sale 250 to inform the businesses about upcoming events and to provide resources. We actually just scheduled a business workshop that we need to get at, well, it's more of like a town hall. We're going to have a toolkit for them to be prepared for what's going on in town, maybe have a window decal for Sale 250, talk about other opportunities for the businesses to market the amount of people that should be coming into town for the event. And that's going to be April 13th, which is a Monday at 10 o'clock in the morning. So that's what we've got going on there. Thank you.
What's the Wednesday, the workshop down at Bizotto's? What you said the date, but what time is it?
It's May 4th
What
at
time?
3.
Okay, is that open to, who's that? You have to sign up for that or what?
Yeah, an invitation has gone out.
Oh, okay, all right,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, this is for
The
our
businesses,
businesses.
yeah,
and-
okay, right, okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you. All
Thank
right,
you.
any questions for anybody about Main Street? Okay, Historic and Hancock School, Sarah?
First, I want to say that the school's annual report to town council was originally going to be in February, and because of the fire that has been shifted, that will now be at the April meeting. So in case you were wondering about why there wasn't one, that's why, and that's when it will be.
No one was wondering.
The cleanup from the fire is continuing. There was a notice end of the week, Saturday, I guess, that the upstairs, a lot of the upstairs work is done. Construction is going, let me read it so that I don't misstate things. To those who are continuing to follow along with our journey, thank you. Many from the community have donated time, effort, and money to ensure that the school will continue to be operational after the fire restoration process is complete. The upper level of the school has been cleaned and sealed off so that people walking through contaminated or dirty areas don't track that contamination back into the freshly cleaned parts of the building. That's also why there aren't pictures this time around. The company is continuing to work on the next phase, which will be reconstruction. They think there will be about another 2 weeks of cleaning, and that will be concentrated in the lower level where the fire started.
Why don't you have the door open?
The original 3 to 4 months for the entire restoration is still their projected timeline.
Hi.
So we're moving through that well. And also just a reminder that the grounds are still open, the playground, the disc golf, the nature trail, the soccer fields are all still available. Other events coming up, the annual Blooms and Brushes will be Saturday, May 30th, with a rain date of Sunday, May 31st. And the gardens for that will be in Mount Prospect. Tickets will be available soon. And Sale 250 will have variety of music at the pavilion throughout the weekend, which is the second weekend of June. And we'll have other things going on as well. So those are the major things. Any questions or comments?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Uh,
And
Oh.
again, thanks to everybody who is doing all that anybody is doing about the cleanup and the keeping on going.
OBCA, Dana?
And thank you for including us in the meetings. I appreciate it. I'm Dana Simpson, representing the Onancock Business and Civic Association as acting VP. This is the first of what will be monthly reports on OBCA events, activities, and projects. The OBCA is a 100% volunteer-run organization that brings neighbors together to do good things that build community and create special events for Onancock. We also step up to help the town address areas that need positive change, from working with the Northeast neighborhood to improve and beautify their park, to restoring the wharf sign, along with cleaning up and replanting around the parking area there. There will be a volunteer opportunity to assist with our push to ready the wharf area for Sale 250 this summer on April 9th. We will weed, clean, and replant the wharf area so it's extra lovely for the celebration. So if anyone wants to join us, that'll be great fun, and bring your trowels. The St. Patrick's Day Parade was last weekend and enjoyed by a large crowd. The OBCA organizes 3 parades a year that bring people into our town to enjoy the events and our area businesses. We want to thank the community band, tractor and car participants, the Chincoteague Ponies, bagpipe band, and all the parade participants, along with the organizer, TJ McCutcheon, Jeff Vernum, Diane Pernick, Bob and Mary Spoth, Mike McMahon, and Jake Dillon. We also appreciate the town's help assisting and coordinating our events. These events are not financed by the town. The budget to support our projects and the people power to sustain them comes from memberships in the OBCA. Our new year, which is 2026 to 2027, starts in June. But if you go to onancock.org and sign up online, the time from now to June will be included in this.
5,000 last year.
Business members are beautifully showcased on our members pages, and new and old residents alike can enjoy meeting and working alongside their neighbors. Our goal for the Onancock Business and Civic Association is to reflect our town, our concerns, and our celebrations. So here's what's coming up. In May, there's the townwide yard sale. July 3rd is the ice cream social, the Halloween parade and weekend events, and the Christmas parade and week events and house tour. And we also provide civic forums and meet the candidates, because this is a very important election year, to keep the community well informed. There's a new page on our website, onancock.org, named Onancock News, that offers a summary of each month's town council meetings, openings on various town committees, and other helpful information. So please check it out. There'll also be volunteer opportunities there. On a more basic note, the doggy bags that are all around town and the litter pickup day are OBCA organized. The OBCA has been behind the scene facilitator for 26 years. Now we need to build our membership and operating budget to continue to bring all these treasured events and positive actions to our community. So please go to the website. It's really easy to join. And you're welcome to come to our meetings. They're 5:30, the first Tuesday at Naomi Mackenzie Presbyterian Church, corner of Market and Lee Street. And we invite all civic organizations to attend and provide updates, along with interested people and new members. Please join us in doing good things for Onancock, and thank you for your support.
Thank you. Any questions from Lisa?
Do we, and you might know the answer too, do we know how many people attended for the St. Patrick's Day Parade?
You know, we don't. The St. Patrick's Parade, it came together because people really worked hard to bring it together, but it was a lot, and that's why we need more volunteers. So we got that parade out there, but yeah, I think everybody was pretty just engrossed in making sure the parade came off well.
I think
But
it's,
we'll try to get numbers
I
next
just need to
year.
know for Main Street.
it's, the crowd seemed to be pretty similar to, I counted last year, I counted because I had a camera in my truck. And I counted exactly about 1,600 people sitting watching it. This year I did not count, but it was about the same well, maybe even more.
Yeah.
So I think
it's-
I think you're safe to say, somewhere.
Yeah, Main Street reports that stuff when there's a community event, how many people did it?
Yeah.
That's why I was curious.
Yeah.
But
No,
thank you.
I appreciate that and I love it if we can all figure out a way to get those numbers.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I've got a request, Dana.
Yes.
I understand that perhaps when the sign was rebuilt, a power line was cut. Because
Which
my,
sign?
the wharf sign. My
Oh.
son-in-law works for ANEC and he said he repaired it.
Okay.
So please do call Miss Utility before you begin any digging there or ask the town to,
Oh,
so that
yeah.
we don't cut lines again.
Sorry that happened. Yeah, I guess that was the fellow who was, redoing the lattice work and stuff. I'll look into
Exactly
that.
how.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Any other questions?
Well, I just have a comment. Just as a clarification, and certainly not to take anything away from OBCA, but what the parade, the St. Pat's Day Parade was jointly sponsored by OBCA and the town. It was my understanding from the first meeting we had about it, the OBCA meeting.
Yeah, I don't know. To
Yeah.
tell you the truth, I'm
Well, I mean,
not-
that's what was said in that,
Yeah, it's a joint thing, yeah.
in that meeting.
Yes, and I.
And again,
think-
not to take anything away from you all, I just wanted people to understand that it was a joint effort, and we certainly appreciate Debbie Caton's involvement and,
Absolutely. And I'm sorry. if we
herding the
missed
ponies and-
anybody.
Yeah, they
yes,
did.
yes, them
yeah.
too, thank you.
Yeah, they work hard on that, yeah.
That's right.
And I know,
I know I could have a very long list to thank, but I want to be mindful about thanking people because everybody does put in so much work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there was a little bit of I was talking to Chief about blocking off the parking spaces.
Mhm.
We block them off like at 2 a.m. the night before. And we're going to examine that because it kind of shuts the town down. So if we can come up with some other way of holding the parking places until he's looking at it, yeah, so.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So he's got to come up with some solution, yeah, okay.
That's great. And I want to say that we always appreciate working with the town.
Yeah.
When is the yard?
I meant to put that in.
We'll talk about that. Is it the first weekend in May?
I know, I'm asking Bill because I'm curious too, and we have loads of stuff we need to
Usually
bring.
the first weekend in May. usually.
Usually it's Mother's Day weekend.
Okay, good.
All right.
I'll get all those dates and post them on the site.
Okay, thank you very much. Good. I'm looking forward to the report every month. All right, sale 250, yes.
Okay, we had a meeting, was it last week? The week before? Our marketing's really underway right now. If you haven't already heard Debbie's lovely voice on WESR promoting Sale 250, hopefully you soon will. We're going to be doing billboards here shortly as well. We're working with Hancock Main Street to inform the businesses and prepare them, which you've heard the other side of that. We worked on getting a sponsorship form, which is almost like a grant proposal over to ESVA Tourism for sponsorship. Eric and Debbie and I met last week to start discussing logistics by location. So we're trying to map everything out so there's no confusion the weekend of. Everybody knows exactly where everything's going and what goes where, not just in the location, but what location. And we're going to draft some letters to residents of Onancock, partly to share what's going on. That's going to be a big weekend, and partly asking for community sponsorships to get this event off the ground. We also we got a small list of corporate sponsors we're going to be calling here shortly. And am I missing anything, Debbie? Okay.
The volunteer.
Yes, we did identify a volunteer coordinator, which we're very excited. We have a meeting with her tomorrow, Debbie and I. So if you get tapped on the shoulder, please consider volunteering for the weekend.
And your next meeting is?
It is April 10th.
Right, okay. All right. The swag, the stuff you can buy,
The swag.
the swag, yeah, that's available already. Could we tell people if they want to start getting that? Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Fletcher. So we have actually created an online store through which people will be able to buy shirts, long sleeve, short sleeve shirts, sweatshirts, coffee cups branded with both Sale 250 and the town. We had not announced it yet because we were waiting on just a couple of items to come in so that we could inspect them prior to sharing that link, but we will be putting out shortly. So the idea is we'll have some merchandise available physically for purchase down at the wharf, but by buying online, there would be a greater range of sizes and all manner of colors and things for folks that might need something other than what we have on hand. But we do look forward to providing that, and we see that potentially as an ongoing resource for different initiatives in the town. Items online will be sold at our cost. There's not going to be any money going to anybody affiliated with the town in any way. So we'll look forward to that. And it should be shortly.
And you'll post it on the website when it comes off.
We will. We'll post it everywhere.
Great, okay. The town website. Oh, well, no, there's a separate
So
sale.
there will be a link to the Town of Onancock store, and we will make it available on the town website, on the Sale 250 website. We'll post it on Facebook and share it with our partners at OMS and the folks that help us with advertising.
Okay, any other questions about Sale 250? Okay, thank you. All right. The time for public comment. Casey Greer.
Well, better, but I know you're drowning in email, so I brought copies for you all. And, sorry.
I got it. I got one. We already have these actually.
Yeah, it's just that I'm aware that people are drowning in email, so, and I.
We already have hard copies of this. I think we did.
The letter that I circulated, I've got 2 copies that can be shared down there, has to do with 2 things that I think that the town would be well served in working on prior to the arrival of a new town manager. I'm not going to talk so much about the financial transparency issue. It's clear, it's out there, and there is substantial confusion about the town's financial resources. I will also say that it's the way that the budget is presented during workshops and during the process is completely confusing. And so one of the things that we might want to think about is how to reorganize those accounts and how to set it up in a way that it's possible to have a reasonable public conversation. But what I really wanted to talk about was records management because, and I wrote to you as a private citizen, but let me put on my planning commission hat. The town records are a mess, and it's true for little towns everywhere. This is not exclusive to Onancock. It's a very unsexy process maintaining a records management policy, but I think the town would be well served by this. This really came to a head when we've been trying to do research for the comprehensive plan, and we have found that there's a lot of data we can't find or get. It's out there. It may be in your dining room in a file box, but it's, and we're not suggesting that anybody's hiding stuff, but it's impossible for us to find data about a lot of things. And it would really pay the town to bring in a contract person, an MLIS person, a library person, to set up a proper record management policy, both for whatever survives in terms of paper records from the past, but also digital records, because what we're finding is there was tons of stuff on the town manager's computer alone, and some of it we haven't been able to get into. For example, apparently there's all kinds of maps, and they have been impossible to find and open, right? So so this is just something, it's just housekeeping. It's about as unsexy as a task as they come. But I think that it would be money well spent to bring in somebody to develop a simple records management policy for the town so that not just minutes. And I know that your financial records are in good enough shape that you can get through a basic audit every year. So I'm not suggesting that that's necessarily the problem, but it's all the other stuff, right? It's the proposals in the past, it's grant proposals, it's contracts for projects. I mean, all this stuff is impossible to find. And I think that what you need is a records policy that's both for paper stuff and also needs to decide what digital records become paper, because some digital records need to be preserved in paper format, but also digital records with a digital finding aid. And I can't think that once you had somebody help you work it out, that it would be that hard to set up or that difficult to maintain, because we're not talking about the federal government here. But what's happening is that I have a feeling the EDA would find this useful and other groups involved with the town would find this useful. So
Okay.
that's my comment for
All right,
tonight.
okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Dana Simpson? Joe Devaney? Yeah, it's my foot on it.
Thank you, Mayor. Having been the victim of the gavel before, I'll keep it to 3 minutes this time, I promise. I'm here to talk about a letter that you would have received at the end of last week, and it pertains to a financial review and a request for an audit of town reserves. Now, if you remember from the last meeting, there was a bit of a discrepancy between what the actual reserves were and what you all had in front of you. And that's no one's fault. We're not here to claim that there's been some misappropriation or malfeasance or anything like that. In fact, this is a very positive letter, and it's encouraging you to take some steps, preferably tonight or at your next meeting. But what we're respectfully requesting is that the town authorize an independent financial review or limited scope audit of the town's cash reserves and its related financial holdings. And we're doing that because we want to be sure that not only are the numbers correct, but the processes are correct, including the processes in our back office. I mean, thank goodness that Matt was not the victim of some tragic event, because he wouldn't be around to answer questions. So what we want to encourage is an accounting system that is a single ledger accounting system that allows everyone to see the same numbers. I'll just go through the points quickly. Routine annual audits are occurring here throughout the past. And at each budget meeting, I can remember Council Member Fiji asking about the details on the line items, and Matt going through the excruciating process of going and reconciling those numbers. But this leadership transition process, as we see it, is the perfect moment to provide full clarity and reliability of our numbers. Not only those numbers, but the back office accounting systems that I mentioned and the ledger that ought to be uniform, reliable, transparent, and available to everyone on this council and to members of the public. So what would be involved? Be sure that all reserves are appropriately deposited and accessible. Make sure that investments, if any, comply with the town's cash reserves policy and Virginia state guidelines for local government funds. Ensure that internal controls and reporting mechanisms remain robust during this transition period with the town manager. We think that all of this can be done through an independent audit that would not be expensive and could be done in 60 to 90 days, which would be much faster than I think the typical audit that occurs here in Onancock. This would, of course, be by a qualified external auditor. This would also, we hope, deliver specific recommendations for standardized monthly statements so that you're not trying to reconcile the format of statements that are coming to you as you go through budget questions. To move forward, we're asking the council to adopt a resolution tonight or at the next available meeting or special meeting if that's warranted, authorizing the engagement of an independent auditor, direct the interim town manager to fully cooperate, commit to releasing the resulting report publicly with an opportunity for citizen questions and oversight, and include enhanced reserve details like investment summaries and so forth. In closing, this letter was signed by more than a dozen individuals. And I'll just say, without reference to the others who signed it, I signed it. There's a wide spectrum of views on this list. It runs from the most conservative members of this town to some of the most liberal members of this town. So I think it's offered in a positive way. I think it's saying to you, let's use this opportunity to get right-footed on this, properly footed, and put yourself in a position so that you have the confidence in our back office systems that you don't have to go through these numbers repeatedly with errors that I don't think serve the town well. The Eastern Shore Post pointed out in its editorial.
Your time's up. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
just quickly, Exmoor had issues with its infrastructure. We have had issues and they fall back into the budget. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Any other public comment?
Good evening, Mark Sinclair, Greenway Circle, just outside of town. In regards to Mr. Devaney's comments, I would tell you that anytime you have a major change of somebody that's financially responsible for an organization, an audit is appropriate. So I'd like to support his comments. Second point, I happened to be walking my dog on the Queen Street parking lot the other day, and I was truly impressed to see Ann, Kyle, and Jesse's parking lot and back and how beautiful a job they've done on that. I'd recommend a letter complimenting them for the overall renovation of the building. But I would also like to point out that their good-looking parking lot now makes our bad-looking parking lot look pretty weak. And more importantly, it makes Onancock Main Street and the Welcome Center backyard look really bad. So I'd like to ask you to at least consider the backyard of that building, which is the entrance you're trying to get visitors to use going in. And then the other point I'd like to talk about, you're talking about the Northeast Park and the benches. Again, something that I truly support. But I also would point out to you, I think you still have to bid the concrete foundation that it goes on. So you can go ahead and order up all the benches you want, but unless you have the concrete pads to put them on, they're not going to do you any good. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comment? All right. Oh, go ahead, Javon.
Good evening. I just first wanted to say thank you to everyone for the approval. What I wanted to touch on is just what he wanted to say is what were we going to decide about the concrete pads? Because I just did have the concern of just putting them out there loosely and not tied down to anything. So is there any sort of movement on that we can do?
Part of the bid quote included anchors for all the things.
Okay.
So we'll have to decide exactly where they want to be, where you want them, and how, whether you want them on a pad or directly anchored to the ground.
Okay. And when will we discuss that?
Soon as I can get a time on when things will be able to be here.
Okay. Thank you all.
I thought we were up in the air about whether we were going to put concrete plants at all.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
were,
if you can't
when we
move them-
discussed, some said they did want them and some
Yeah.
said they did not want them.
Yeah, so they're going to be anchored one way or another.
Yeah,
but the
and we
question is
have
whether-
anchors.
The question is whether it's going to be a full concrete pad or
Yes.
just anchored
Yeah,
pads.
and we have, the anchors are coming and they can either be in a concrete pad or directly into the ground with concrete support.
Right, okay, so that's still up in the air, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, thank you for clarifying that. Okay, all right. All right, mayor's report. I'd like to thanks again to the St. Patrick's Day Parade. I'm sorry. Huh? Oh, sorry, I thought,
I didn't know I was gonna have one, that's why I didn't sign the paper.
okay.
But earlier this afternoon, I saw the Nancock workers in the park. And I didn't want to go in to feel what they were doing, so I kept on about my business. So I'm happy to know that after 20-some years, we now have water back in that park. But here's the catch. We're gonna need a lock cap on it. Because people will go there, especially people that don't live in this town. You turn the water on, leave it running, look, and we don't want that to happen. So it's so much easier for us to put a cap on it. If we're necessary, have someone in the community be responsible for unlocking it earlier in the day and locking it back in the before dark. We have to do something because we do not want to have to waste the water, and this town has to pay for it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, town managers are hearing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll look at that. Thank you. Public Works can see about that. All right, any other comment? Okay, Mayor's report. Yeah, thanks to the grounds, the public crew we have has been doing a great job. I don't know if you know, we just bought we have a new mini excavator that we just purchased to replace our failing backhoe. And it's a much smaller unit. It'll enable us to do the street repairs without taking up so much of the street. But that just came in the other day. And I think that's, we've also trying to get a little more contracts to maintain some of the equipment. We still having issues with the chipper, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the shipper is back in Delaware.
yeah, back again.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so the chipper is a constant problem. So I don't know. Anyway, you can talk about that. I had a request that one of the previous council Board of Supervisors, a member called me up, and I think you've seen in the paper concerning the translator TV thing. And I don't know if you're aware that there's a translator TV system in the county that it was the front page on the Post. Set up 30 or 40 years ago. Basically, they rebroadcast stations that are across the bay on a VHF channel that you can get locally, so you don't have to have expensive antennas and stuff. It's up in Wattsville, if you've ever gone through Wattsville, that big tower. And it needs $120,000 upgrade, and the county's considering whether they want to do that. They asked me to see if the town would write a letter. It's up to council. I don't know much about it. Does anybody here use Translator TV? Don't even know what it is? I mean, yeah, no, yeah.
There are several people that do. I don't.
Okay, yeah, I'm just curious. I don't know much about it, so I'm just passing that on. And council, if you're interested, it's a county function. And I know that if they're debating it, and because the county is going to decide whether we write a letter or not. But the other option would be just write individual letters if you want to see it. So it's up to council. What do you want to do?
Well, I think couldn't one thing we do be make people who follow Hancock on Facebook aware of the possibility that it may be discontinued?
Yeah.
To alert them to contact the county if they use it and wish
Yeah, I
to
think
see
that
it.
to put it out to the citizens. I mean, I don't think people even know it. Yeah, that's a good idea.
I mean, one question I would have right off the bat is, are people not using it because there's not a need, or are they not using it because they don't know that it exists?
Right. I don't know the answer to that. And I don't know all the technical things about, so anybody else take on this?
Am I correct in understanding that if you don't have broadband internet, you don't have cable, and you don't have satellite, that's your only option for receiving TV?
It depends on where you live. If you live in northern Accomack County, you can get Salisbury channels on a regular antenna.
What about the antennas?
And you can get, if you live in southern Accomack County, you can get antennas. So you can put up an antenna, but it has to be a little different. I don't honestly know. There are some spots I don't know. I was going to talk to Barney at Bullfeathers because he does that kind of thing. I didn't get up with him today, so I don't know. Can't answer that question. So that's why I think I'm not sure we know enough about it to write a letter as a council, and maybe just tell our people to try to translator TV. It's been there literally
Started in 1977.
Yeah, it's been there
Oh my
forever.
gosh.
Yeah, it was back before we had, cable TV was only very limited and there was no other way and, I really, yeah, it's old. And it needs, there's a small, maintenance every year that the budget covers, but it needs $120,000 or $30,000. So they're trying to cut. So if you're interested, it doesn't sound like we're interested in writing, does any interest in writing letters to council?
I like the idea of putting it on social media from the town to alert people.
Yeah,
That way they know if they want to
And
contact the Board of Supervisors.
and if you want to write a letter personally as a council member, you're welcome to do that. Okay.
I would volunteer to help craft that
Okay.
social media post.
Yeah, I think it's the meeting is coming up next week about that. So that needs to be done fairly soon. Okay. All right. I think that's all I have really. Anything else? Okay. Town managers report?
Yes, sir. One of the things I want to talk about just a minute is the historic Hancock High School. At the last meeting, you approved engineering contract to review things for do engineering reviews on projects for the town. The first task order that I asked them to look at and to submit was one for the review of the roof, to evaluate the roofing repair, and to prepare construction contract and visits. And I think you have up there, Matitias, the price for that for the first task order of $1,560. I recommend you do that. There's nobody on staff that can really do the engineering into this. And so I'm asking that the council authorized me to sign the task order to review it, and it will be taken out of the monies for the improvements at the high school.
Do you want a vote on that or do you just need, are you okay with it?
Just,
Did you just tell me?
yes, just you're all okay. I don't need a vote.
Does anybody have any problem? Okay, all right, okay.
Okay, thank you.
Is that all, anything else about the school?
I'm sorry.
Do you have any other items about the school? Because I was talking to and along with the school, the project of the school was the lease. And
Yeah,
I talked to Eric the other day about that and he is looking at the lease.
yeah. I had that down as one of the,
Okay, I didn't know if you're going to talk about that or not.
just that he's still reviewing the
And
lease.
he's going to kind of take out all the extraneous stuff and
Yeah.
give us a bare bone, and then
Give a
we'll
bare
go to
bone.
we'll go to the
plain
school and see what they want. Okay,
Yeah.
that is ongoing. So, yeah.
Yeah.
We have no document yet. So if anybody requests it, it doesn't exist yet.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten it from our attorney.
And just to add to what Snock said, we expect the cleanup end to finish by Easter weekend. And the way it works, we're hoping that it works because everything's set up to do that, is right behind them will come the construction folks. There shouldn't be any delay between the two. In terms of the HRSD billing, we're at the last of the meters. These are the larger commercial meters that are being put in now. So we're still doing and for the foreseeable future, we're going to be doing the billing. And staff wants to have probably at the next meeting more detailed talk about the billing process and whether or not we should continue the billing or turn it over to HRSD. There are some advantages and there's some that it's kind of a wash. And I think town council needs to hear what those differences are. And mosquito spraying, the town manager had done the mosquito spraying in the past. He was also licensed to do that. There's nobody on staff that is licensed to do that. We have looked into having somebody do it. We have gotten a quote that's $900 a week. And we would have to supply the chemicals, which is also getting more expensive. It's $2,500 for a 55-gallon barrel. I think we'll use 2 barrels in a year. And we would have to build a shed to cover those barrels. They cannot be left out in the open. And the folks we have talked to about doing the mosquito spraying say that they're going to spray, there won't be where you lift the arms. In other words, it's either all or none for them. So I think council needs to think about what you want to do about the mosquito spraying. It's going to be very different. The chemicals are changing, the process. We have nobody to do the licensing right now. So it's mosquitoes not a pretty,
So what's this, when's the scenario? When do we have to make that decision? When do we start spraying normally?
I think when the, yeah.
I know I've killed one about 2-3 weeks ago on my back porch.
I feel like it was probably on full May.
Yeah.
Well, so we could make a decision at the April meeting or?
Yes, you can do that.
Yeah, I mean,
Can I offer a comment? I'm sorry.
yeah, hold on, let's, okay, so, are you, the council, discussion about the mosquito, we're just off the top, yeah, do you want? Can we?
Well, you can, absolutely, we can have
Yeah, I
that
just want to see,
discussion.
to get to Jim.
Last year, you mentioned Virginia Tech might come and study.
Yeah, that,
Did that fall?
that kind of fell apart. The lady, turns out that the lady retired that was going to do that. And the problem is we need to either do it, you can't study if we're spraying this, if you want to, you basically, I guess the bottom line is we have no proof of how effective the mosquito spraying is. It's just been, we've just been doing it for 50 years and we just assume that it kills the mosquitoes. So you'd have to stop spraying and then sample the mosquitoes and
Yeah.
then spray and see what the difference
Yeah.
is, or pick a town that doesn't have any mosquitoes. I got pretty far with her and then she retired. So it's up to council, I mean, there's several options. I'm not going to, council needs to
So-
weigh in on what they want to do. It's not my decision.
So I think it's safe to say that nobody wants more chemicals around than are necessary.
Right.
In my research on integrated pest management, it suggests that it needs to be a combination of larvicide, adulticide, good residential best practices for individual homes such as dunks and all of that stuff. But I think my recollection is that CDC, EPA, various agencies all say that prudent use of spraying is effective when it's done in a targeted fashion based on an assessment of where it's needed. So it's true, we can't do the assessment until the season starts, right? So I think I would highly encourage, because I think this is science, and so I would highly encourage that we get some advice from an appropriate professional for what a prudent strategy would be while we concurrently have someone set out traps to identify those targeted areas. I mean, we're surrounded by water, so I don't know how, I don't know what the outcome of that might be, but I think in the absence of that data, we can't make an informed decision about the extent of, if any, of the spraying. So I think we need a two-pronged effort. What can we get away with until we have good data to make an informed decision?
The data is it's going to be fairly expensive and to get some, to do the trapping and stuff. And the problem is a lot of the people that spray are the ones that want to do, they have sort of a bias toward, telling you need to hire an independent, somebody that somebody at Tech, we could reach out to them again. I think
Yeah.
it's a good idea.
Right, I mean, at least we could get
Some kind of,
an estimate of what the trapping would
right.
cost and then make an informed decision about doing the assessment.
Right. Well, you have to, I mean, they're evidently, you're also looking at the type of mosquito you've got, because some of the mosquitoes are sensitive to the spray in the day, some are more sensitive. So
Exactly.
So you just have to, somebody's got to look at the trap, and I can't tell one
Exactly.
from mosquito from another one. So it's not just counting little bugs in there. You got to know something.
Correct.
Yeah. So anyway,
Correct.
I
And
think
those-
I think it's a way to go. If we, we'll reach out again to see if I can find it. I'll get together with you and see if we
Yeah,
can
yeah.
find something. But it doesn't sound like we're going to do anything until April at the end of, So I think people need to think about what they, what council, what you think about the spraying in general. See what the public thinks about it as well,
I would also throw out that potentially we could consider a cost sharing agreement with another entity that does spraying as a way to reduce cost? Just a thought.
I was going to suggest that you might perhaps contact Helen Dowdy, who's the extension agent in Northampton, and she's an entomologist.
I've tried the experimental station. They don't, have all their entomologists are pest people for crops. They don't know much about mosquitoes.
Right.
I'll ask again, yeah,
And I
You may have a name.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
could send you the email.
But the,
was going to say,
the
we
people
do
that-
some work with Helen.
our contractor also sprays for Chincoteague and only.
Yeah,
So he's already there. That's the only 3 towns we think that even spray on the Eastern
that's
Shore.
right. Yeah, that's as far as,
Yeah, so we don't know about the rest, yeah, yeah.
You know, I did a bunch of research.
Yeah, we're gonna have public comment about this later, yeah.
They've been don'ts for the last bunch of.
Yeah, I know they've had issues over the years, yeah. Well, we're, yeah, if you, I'll, and just forward anything you can to us about it. I'd be interested to know, yeah, yeah. All right, so we're gonna, I mean, I think people need to think about this and see what we want to do.
it's going to be a big change. No,
It's a big ticket item now.
Yeah.
It used to be fairly inexpensive, but
Yes.
we're looking at a big budget item now.
The other piece I would throw out last thing is that we could undertake a public education campaign. Once we have confirmed best practices. I know some concerned citizens did some of that on their own last year. And I think we could even potentially have an intern from community college that might be able to help us put together some materials that we could share in a more deliberate fashion.
Okay, any other, takes on the mosquito?
Not on mosquitoes, but on the.
Yeah,
report.
okay, yeah, okay, so the mosquito spraying, all right, okay, any other, okay, questions about the report?
Yes. On the water meters,
yes, ma'am.
has the installation of the last ones begun after the interruption from the contractor? leaving?
Yes, it has. HRST has worked out to get the rest of them
Okay,
done.
thank you. So
And-
how close, was it 74 that were remaining at that point?
Yeah, and we're down, I think, to, according to HRST, something like 17.
No.
Ah, okay.
Good deal. Okay. I know we had a request about this, the audit is coming up. Could you comment on and I think you read the letter that we got as well?
Yes, yes.
And, you and I had a brief discussion
Yes,
about
the-
that, but
The
what's your
audit
take on that?
Yeah, the audit you get is an independent audit. That audit is submitted to the Auditor of Public Accounts for the state. And the auditor looks at all the funds. All of your capital and reserve and idle cash are in the Virginia investment pool, which is established to make sure that you follow the guidelines under the state law for local government investments. So we can, if you want, I can contact the auditor to see what it would require for them to do a more specific audit and to look at how our reporting is done and how it may be done better. One of the things that I've found out over the years is there a lot of ways to do reports and a lot of opinions of which ones are the best. And I think council, as part of what you ought to do, is review and see what kind of a report you want to be able to put out there for yourselves and for the public. I don't think with a staff this size, you want to have more different reports. I agree that you ought to have a standardized way of reporting.
Okay. So when is the audit supposed to start?
It'll start in April.
So, could you show them the information that we have and
Yes,
ask them?
yes, I will forward them the letter.
See if they have any opinion and then
Yes.
you can report back to us. if we
Yes,
want to go
I
farther.
can do that.
I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. Yeah, okay. All right. Any other questions for the manager?
Bill, when you mentioned a variety of reports, I don't think we understand what our choices are. So
Okay.
if the auditor has a few samples that he for some reason thinks are best, or if you have samples that we could review that you think work well, it would be nice for us to be able to see those.
Yes, we'll do that.
Okay.
I'll talk to him about that.
Any other questions for the manager? Okay. That was part of the financial report. Anybody have any issues with? Okay. Police report? We don't,
The
Anything?
computer system, it's not, the state, as my understanding is that the state has changed the system some. And they have to go around to each police department and sheriff's department and do some fix, and I honestly have no idea what the fix is to the computers. And you can imagine Virginia Beach with all of its, and Hancock with ours, it's going to take a while. I'm going to try to find out if there's a way that we can do reports without it, without having to go wait for the state. We can do something that you get a report for things that are important to you.
Does apart from that, do the police department members keep a tally of
Yes,
what
yes.
they do? Could-
Yeah,
Could
absolutely.
that be summarized?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about,
Okay.
getting done.
is it, are we still advertising for the fifth officer? Or we haven't had any,
To be honest with you, I don't know. I know we've done it a couple of times.
no applicants?
No applications at all.
Okay, all right. And budget item or budget hearings, first budget hearing is coming up. Are we going to get some preliminary information before that budget
Yeah.
hearing?
Yes.
Okay. All righty. Any other questions? Okay. Town council comments? Ann?
I'd just like to say, I think Onancock is very fortunate to have citizens who are concerned about what's happening in the town, who are willing to come here and share their opinions, and all the great volunteers, and it's all part of what makes Onancock the great town that it is. And I thought during the parade that the parade really represented one of the best things about Onancock. And I learned that if I'm going to toss candy next year, I need to practice ahead of time. Oh, and we need to also acknowledge the police who provided their support during the parade and our outside partners, but I thought it was just fantastic.
I thought the parade was fabulous. Thank you, OBCA and the town, and big shout out to town staff. Even the guys have been huffing it. I saw them with their new excavator Friday, trying to find a water line. So I know these guys are working hard, and I know it's hard for them when they have to work the weekend too. And so anyways, and thank you all for being here.
I wanted to share something. I went to Shore History Saturday evening and heard a talk by Miriam Riggs regarding the colonial era history of Onancock. It's extremely informative, and I found it very interesting. She's done a mural that's on display at Shore History, but I believe they were recording it. So if you weren't able to attend, and I see that some of you in the audience did attend, but if you weren't able to and are interested in that period of history in our town, you might look for the video on their website. I highly recommend it.
Oh, okay. Ashley? Omar?
Hello, everybody. It's just a couple of things that I've ran across, I guess within the last week. The thing about the chipper, I don't know if it's possible, but I kind of think maybe if we need to put like a little article in the paper about it, because the people, I guess they realize that, there is a lot of trees and limbs that came down, but I've been asked a couple of times, where's the chipper? Where's the chipper? When are they coming? That chipper's been going through hell. Yeah, I mean, because like I said, those guys, they've been out there, you know, working, and they've been working like all day, chipping away, in the sense to say, yeah, yeah, I mean, and there's piles and piles of stuff, of debris everywhere.
What we've learned, what we've learned is that chippers are not meant to be run as much and as hard as we run it.
Yeah,
What, you go, what?
yeah.
But they aren't. They are not supposed to run all the time. And that's one of the things that happened is we were running it.
All
We
day.
don't know what happened, but it decided it did not want to run anymore.
Yeah. Well, I know.
We have, because of the use of it, so much, have really worked it over in a way that it is not meant to be done.
Right. But like I said, just, you know, just on
Yeah.
that note, I know some people, and I mean, you can't miss them, the piles of
Yes.
papers everywhere. But I think to kind of, what's the word I want to say? Keep communication with the
Okay.
town, so they kind of got an idea, you know, so, I mean, I think it's, you know, just a way of letting people know, so they do know what's going on,
Yeah.
and the chipper
Okay.
is running, you know.
Well, it's not running.
Oh, well, it was.
Yeah.
When I was asked about it a few times. So yeah, that's one thing, you know, I think it's kind of good to communicate with the town, and just sometimes little things, and little things like that. You know, that's one thing. Two, I was just wondering, you know, the colors of the benches and stuff at the park. I know sometimes, I mean, I'm just wondering this. I know you said they were green and, what is it, green and black, or whatever the case is?
Green.
And not to, I mean, I really don't care what color they are, but I'm just asking. I know sometimes the color of certain things sometimes can affect the price. Did we even think or look
Yeah, no,
about, is it gonna be what it's gonna be?
Yeah.
Okay.
And let me say, I did not pick the color because I'm partly colorblind.
Right.
So I make sure that everybody understands, I don't pick colors.
Jamon's raised his hand back there.
Yeah.
There were just two colors that were available, either black or green.
Oh, okay.
Green.
Yeah, I got you.
Thank
I
you.
know, you know, sometimes even for simple things like, you know,
Yeah.
sometimes your car insurance is cheaper for the color.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was just wondering.
Yeah,
if
no,
there-
it's
this
not
is
a-
the dyes and the this. and
Yeah,
that.
no, it's not
Okay, all right.
Okay.
they're pretty standard colors.
I got
Okay.
you.
All right. Any other
That-
comments?
That's it.
Thank you.
I have one just really quick.
Uh,
I just wanted to piggyback on what Omar was talking about with the communication. I have out there tonight the Text My Gov sign up sheet.
Mhm.
I've learned that we only have 300 people opted in right now for Text My Gov.
Right.
So there's a sheet out there. I would assume that the people that are here have an interest, so they're most likely dialed in. But if you could grab some, hand them out to friends. There's also a section on the website under resident resources that shows you exactly how to opt in. I mean, the communication is great, but it's only as good as
you don't
people
si-
want it. If
you
I'm,
don't sign-
you know, we have 1,200 residents and I only have 300 in the Text My Gov.
well, yeah.
Yeah,
The,
so if you could pass that out around as well.
Well,
to
and also
people,
that'd
that'd
be
be
a
great.
good idea to put out the rules about chipping, because I think people don't understand. You're only supposed to put up so much. I know we have.
The
a storm.
rules are on the
Yeah,
website.
people need to look at.
And when new residents come in,
I know they don't
we
understand.
give them
Yeah, and you can't,
the
you know,
rules.
yeah, you can't put out a tractor trailer loads worth of stuff in your yard. And unfortunately people do. And then if they don't pick it all up, it sits there and it's kind of a catch-22 here. I think we need to look at our chipping in the future.
Woods are much harder to chip
Uh-huh.
than others. Crepe myrtle is tough.
Yeah. Tell me about
Yeah.
it. Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. That's probably one of the quickest meetings we've ever had.
You were all looking into having an